I'm just making sure we're live. Trying something different today. I'm trying starting without the picture. I feel like that's getting in the way. I feel like we need to figure out a way to eliminate starting that way. So we're just going to start with a cold open today and jump right into it. But I do need to make sure that we're up everywhere. So let me know if you're here on YouTube. Let me know, because that's what I'm actually looking at right now. Trying to pull up Facebook and make sure that Facebook is good. So let me get that going. And we'll start in just a little bit. This is the Daily Bern. This is a daily motivational show for all of us that are fighting in this political revolution in order to change our society into one that works for the people. We're trying to do massive things. That's what we do here. That's what we talk about here. So come on in, like and share. This is an independent little show. We depend on your shares to get out and get to a wider audience and get out to viewers and be seen. So we have to be the media. This is a grassroots independent show for the revolution. So share it out. Invite your friends. Get it out there. But I'm going to share it a little bit. I finally got it up on Facebook and I can see that we're good. So I'm going to share it a little bit around. Spread it out a little. But share the show, guys. And come on in. Let me know you're here. Say hi. Participate. This is a live show, and I want to hear from you guys. We always have a really good comment section. Bob says we're good on Facebook. We always have really good interaction. And this is a show that's built for the fighters in this political revolution. So come on in. This is the Daily Bern. I'm Sean, and I am the host of the Daily Bern. We gather here every day at 7 on Our Revolution War Room. That's the name of the page. Go ahead and make sure you like the page and follow us so that you can keep up with us, as we post one of these every day. So come on in. This is the War Room of the political revolution. And while we wait for people to get here, why don't we just for a second talk about Elizabeth Warren dropping out. Elizabeth Warren has dropped out. And I am seeing all kinds of people wondering if she'll endorse Bernie. There's no way in hell that she'll endorse Bernie. But I think it's hilarious that people think there's a chance she might. Has she not bent over backwards to show you who she really is and what she's really about? Elizabeth Warren, if she was to back Bernie, I might have a heart attack. I would for sure faint. It would make no sense to me. She's done nothing to show me that we can expect anything from her but a fresh knife in the back. That's all Elizabeth Warren is about. So I see her endorsing Biden. I actually see her joining up into Biden's campaign, maybe as his VP. I swear I hope it's not the rumor I've been seeing circulating, and I don't know if any of you have seen this, but that Hillary Clinton is being considered as a VP choice for Joe Biden. And I really hope that that isn't true. But come on in. This is the Daily Bern, and we'll start in just a minute. We started a little different today. Usually we start with the logo and play a little music, but we skipped that today and went right for the show. But this is the Daily Bern, the war room of the political revolution. And what we do here is we talk about this fight. But we talk like winners because we know that we must win. We know what's at stake here. And we know that we can. So thanks for coming. And today's burn is going to center around courage. Now, it takes courage to believe that you can pull off something amazing. Something everyone says can't be done. Something everyone says is impossible. But with that courage, and through determination and hard work, those naysayers, that want to say everything can't be done, they're proven wrong time and time again, because nothing is impossible. And we know that. We know that that is true. But it takes courage to face that fact. And people don't want to, because it implies responsibility. They don't like that. They want it to be someone else's fault, someone else's responsibility, someone else's job. But it's not. It's yours and yours alone. No one is responsible for your situation but you. And nobody can do anything about your situation but you. And all these people that say that it can't be done, that it's impossible, they are weak. And they are lying to themselves and to you, whether they know it or not. And a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't know it. But don't listen to them. Be brave. Have the courage to believe that together that we can pull off the impossible. And once we do, and we will, massive change and progress will become possible because of the fact that millions of people are taking ownership of their own destinies. That's what we have to do. We must own this fully. It is ours. We don't have to tolerate their greed. We don't have to tolerate this greed-driven system that only benefits the few. And we absolutely can have a society built on justice and compassion that works for the people. We just have to have the courage to stop tolerating the intolerable. The courage to stand up and fight for those less fortunate than ourselves. And the courage to stand our ground because we know that we are right. And this greed must be stopped. And must be us that stops it. That's the only thing that will make change. Millions of people standing united. We have to own this 100%. And those of us that gather here, we understand that. So it's understandable that we're all a little punch drunk from Tuesday. I am. I'm going to admit it. We are emotionally involved. We believe in this fight deeply, and we understand that it must succeed. Because we know what's at stake, and we know that there will be no better opportunity coming along. And beyond all of that, as big as that is, what's happening is madness. Looking in from the outside, you would think that the Democratic Party was trying to help Trump get reelected and destroy their own party in the process. Logic has been abandoned by the DNC, and well over $1 billion has been spent trying to stop us. And the most they could pull off was mass confusion that led them to Joe Biden, a man that isn't even quite sure what he's running for or where he is, being their front runner with only a slight delegate lead over Bernie. Now I know that Tuesday hurt. But this is a marathon, and they exhausted themselves to put Joe Biden slightly ahead with no chance in hell of how to stay there. Joe Biden isn't well. We know that. We understand that. And we know that he's got to keep opening his mouth now, and he's got to debate and give speeches and keep talking. And Joe Biden cannot last. The DNC is desperate. They are swinging at air, and this last-ditch Hail Mary that barely won them Super Tuesday is going to backfire because Joe Biden is guaranteed to implode. So, I know you're hurt. I am too. But think about what that stunt really cost them, and then think about where they really stand. And they have blown their wad financially and are left with a candidate that's brain and mouth aren't even cooperating anymore. So stay strong and have the courage to keep fighting and pushing forward. And Tuesday showed us some things. It showed us that we have a lot of people to wake up and inform. It showed us that for sure. But it also showed us that we can take their best shot and stay standing. We won the most delegate-rich state in that primary Super Tuesday. The most diverse state. We had a terrific showing if you really consider what we were up against. This is happening, and their behavior shows me nothing but weakness and desperation. They will lose, and we will win, and it is because we have the courage to believe and the courage to take ownership of our destiny that we will succeed. So build up that courage. Don't listen to the doubters. Work on your mind and control your thoughts, because this is going to be a mentally exhausting fight, and it is crucial to stay strong, because the only way that they can stop us, and trust me, they know this, the only way that they can stop us is to get us to lay back down. They need to get us to quit. Throughout history, this is how change takes place. So I don't want to hear your doubts. I'm done hearing about how change and progress are impossible, because I've seen too many times that just isn't true. Everything is impossible until it's done. So if you aren't working towards change, get out of our way, because millions of people like me believe that we can take back our government from the oligarchs who have purchased it. And we know that we must, because no matter what anyone tells you, we are the true patriots. We see the truth. We understand that this must happen, and must happen now, and we have the courage to accept the responsibility to make sure that it does. And this is what democracy is supposed to look like. We aren't a bunch of spoiled babies looking for free stuff. We are passionate, informed, and caring people who understand the severity of the situation. What we are doing is the right thing to do. And the only reason it looks strange to people is because we've never been shown how to participate in democracy. But this is it. This is what it looks like. And we are winning. They are terrified. This is working. So be brave, guys, and focus on our goal at all times. We can do this. No one can stop us but us. And we're going to win. Not Bernie. Us. We're going to make this happen. We are the reason that this is going to happen. So I'm hurt. I know a lot of you are hurt and shocked by this, by what happened Tuesday. But that was their best shot. You understand that cost them over $1 billion? I'm not exaggerating. Mike Bloomberg himself threw $700 million at us. Now think about how much the pharmaceutical industry has put forth in propaganda, how much all those other campaigns cost to run. This Stop Bernie movement is expensive. I'm probably underplaying it at $1 billion. I'm underselling it. They have spent in a massive amount of energy to try and curb momentum, and they didn't even really succeed when you think about it. I understand that it could have been a lot bigger for us on Tuesday, but the average person is who they fooled, and the average person is easily fooled, guys. We have to admit that and accept it as truth, because it's something we're up against. We have to inform and get enough of the average people to take a stand. This is a stand. This is a war. This is class warfare. We are in a war. We need enough people to look at it that way and own it. That's all. We don't need everybody. A core group of millions of people working together, united to move this forward. If we stand firm and resolve and stay together, we can only grow, and we will win. We have the momentum needed to win. We're going to make this happen. And like Jack says, we have a lot of states to go yet. And Biden's their front runner. Biden's their guy. Think about that. They put all their eggs in that basket. Where does that road lead? I'm working on a video right now of Biden gaffes, and I got to tell you, it's very easy to find them. It's disturbing how easy it is to find them. Biden is slipping mentally. He won't win. He can't. It's a two-man race now. And Biden cannot stand up to scrutiny. He can't. What are they going to do? Put him in a box for the rest of the primary? If they let him talk, he's going to implode his own campaign. Robert says this setup looks cool. Thank you, man. I've been playing with a lot of different setups, and this is the one we landed on. But thanks for coming to the Daily Bern, guys. That was their best shot. Bob said that was their best shot. It was. Steve said Trump is already making fun of Biden's Alzheimer's. Trump will eat Biden alive. We can't allow this to happen. We're not being babies. We're telling you the truth. Biden will lose. Biden has no business being up there. I don't even know that he knows he's up there sometimes. I'm not making fun of him. It's not funny anymore. This is serious. We're electing President of the United States. We need to take this for real. I know we do. A lot of times I'm preaching to the choir, but we need the average person to understand that he is mentally unfit. This is not cool. They're trying to push a man whose capacities are slipping, clearly slipping, to be the leader of the free world. It's crazy when you think about it, what the Democrats are doing. Their plan can't succeed, and they're desperate. They're swinging wild. So we have them on the ropes. They have a 76 delegate lead. That's what they came out of this with. They spent billions of dollars, over $1 billion rather, to get a 70 delegate lead. How are they going to maintain it? You see what I mean? How can they sustain it? How can they hold Biden up? Jack says, just think of all that money they pissed away and how many people they could have helped. Well, they don't care about helping anyone. That's exactly what they're showing you. They will throw tons more money at trying to stop this revolution because this is the only real fight. I have had a lot of Trump people. There's been all kinds of people lining up to say, I told you so. But the Trump people bother me the most because they believe that they are fighting the establishment. They are the most misled, and it's sad. The only real fight against the powers that be is the Bernie Sanders revolution, the movement that is happening right now. It is the only fight. Anyone else that thinks they're fighting and isn't part of this revolution is severely misled in one way or the other. They either think that some other path on your own is going to make a difference and that it doesn't take millions of people united to make a difference. They believe what we believe, but they just don't want to join our group. And they're misled in that way. Or they believe they're fighting the deep state and the establishment under Donald Trump. There's people I love that believe that. It is the saddest thing that I've ever heard, but it's true. And they deeply believe it. And they make me the most sad. So they're so misled. The only fight, the only real fight against the power that lords over us and that is suffocating society and killing people with its greed, the only real fight is this revolution. Robert says the media tells the public that we're crazy and mean. The media is a mass propaganda machine and is our enemy. Their job is to misinform and misdirect the public. And again, all they have to do is fool the average person. They need to fool enough regular people. And that's their job. But think about where they stand even. The mass media, the people's trust of the mass media has dropped dramatically. They're losing their hold too. Look, Chris Matthews lost his mind live on air because they can't control the narrative. That's what they're afraid of. It's not Bernie that scares them. It's us. It's the movement behind Bernie. It's the people. That's what scares them. That's what they're afraid of. Bob says it's only a 31 delegate lead as of an hour ago. Right on. See, I understand it hurt. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still dizzy. I'm still overwhelmed. But I gave people more credit than I should have is one thing. And then the other is they threw a massive political trick. This was a massive political trick here. Think about what actually happened. And then think about the payoff and how it really wasn't as big as it should have been. They had everyone confused. The average person. And I overestimated them. I didn't think they'd fall for this. And then I thought enough people clearly understood that Joe Biden is mentally unfit. But apparently they don't. So I am going to at least do my best to point that out to people. We are not being mean. We are not being Bernie bros. We're being honest. Trump will tear Biden to shreds. And it's not fair to Biden not to help him go home. He doesn't want to be up there, I don't even think. He's being forced to do this. I think the man is sick and just needs to be let go home. He's standing in the way of progress, though. And it needs to be pointed out that for whatever reason, as insane as it is, they've decided to put their support behind a mentally unfit man. And we have to be the media that exposes it, because the mainstream media will do nothing to show anyone. They'll try to hide it as much as they can or downplay it. We have to expose him. And expose his record as well. And the Bernie campaign is aggressively going after Biden's record. So the new batch of Bernie ads all directly go after Biden and the differences and the contrast between Biden and Sanders. And there's a lot of big differences and contrasts, like on Social Security. Biden's been trying to cut Social Security for, 30 years? The NAFTA and trade deals that crippled the working class and moved all these jobs overseas, Biden fought for all of that. Biden's a Republican. It won't be hard to point it out. So even if he was of sound mind, his record doesn't stand up. And he's a warmonger. He loves war. So their differences on foreign policy, on economic policy, on social justice is all going to be a main focus of the Sanders campaign moving forward. And we have to have faith that they're going to do their job and we just do our job. We can wake enough people. We can wake enough people to make this happen, but it will take enough to overwhelm them. We have to overwhelm their system. Steve said Jimmy Dore did a good show on Biden today. I'll have to watch it. I haven't watched Jimmy in a long time. I like Jimmy, but I haven't watched him in forever. Been watching a lot of Joe Rogan. I love the Joe Rogan podcast, and I'm addicted to it. But I need to spread out. It's just that Joe uploads so much content. So if you're a fan of the Joe Rogan show, there's so much of it to go through, you don't run out. But I've been letting Joe dominate my listening too much. Jack says, get out and knock on doors. Get to know your neighbors and get them involved. Carpool to voting places. Do everything that you possibly can. And yes, talk to everyone you can. Inform everyone that you can. That means more than anything they're going to get from the TV anyway. Human interaction is something that we forget about. But Jack's right. Get out there. Talk to people. Inform them. These are popular ideas. A lot of people just don't even realize they're possible. Excuse me. I've been shaking a cold for like 6 months. I don't have COVID-19. This is off topic, but something weird happened when I uploaded YouTube earlier. I opened YouTube and a big ad came up for how to get information on COVID-19. What's going on? We'll get into that on another episode of something else, conspiracy theories and chill or something, but it's scary. It makes you realize healthcare for all is way overdue. Healthcare is a human right. People deserve a living wage and a life of dignity. And these things are all possible. And if we can inform people, that's the biggest hurdle, is informing. We just need to make enough people aware that these things are possible. They're being done all over the world. And we can afford them. They can happen. People don't want to vote against their own best interest. They're convinced to. If we fight back with information and facts, we can inform them and help them be strong enough and have the courage to fight for better. They've been convinced that they don't even deserve it, can't have it, can't get it. And if they do try to get it, then they may lose what they have. So it's out of fear that they don't want to do things. They're afraid of change. But again, we don't need everybody, fortunately. We just need enough. Johnson says Biden has made a career out of betraying black voters. That is absolutely right. Biden's going to be very easy to expose. What we need to understand is we've taken it way too easy on Biden, and we need to go after him full blast. There needs to be a full-on attack, full attack on Joe Biden. No mercy. There's no mercy in this dojo. We need to take him down. It's our job. It's our responsibility. And Robert was right earlier, though. They sell us as mean. So we're going to have to convince these blue no matter who's, and it's like talking to a brick wall, I understand. We're going to have to convince them that Biden's a loser. And again, we won't get them all, but we need enough of them to realize that the Democratic Party is flying a kamikaze mission. There's no way for this to succeed. It's a crazy plan. They don't care about you. They don't care about winning either. They care about stopping Bernie Sanders. And that should make everyone see that he must be the ally of the people, because they're spending a whole lot of effort trying to stop him. And also, it should make everyone that thinks this is impossible see that it's not, that it is possible, because they're spending a whole lot of effort trying to stop it. If it was impossible and laughable and this rigged system couldn't be overwhelmed, would they be exhausting so much energy trying to stop us? They would just laugh at us. They wouldn't take us seriously at all. They would just keep rigging their polls and rigging the elections and rigging the primaries, ignore us. But they're not doing that. They're pumping millions of dollars every day into propaganda and misinformation, trying to get as many people as they can to not listen to us, because it is possible and it can happen. The only reason why we found ourselves in this situation that we're in is because we fell asleep at the wheel. We stopped taking responsibility and gave that up to people that are bought off and do not have our best interest in heart or in mind, and are not acting in our best interest. And we've let them run amok for far too long, and what they've done is enrich themselves at our expense. So we have to take the wheel back from them. That's what has to happen. Reggie says the couch is here. It doesn't look like the couch is here. You didn't bring a whole lot of people with you if you want to buy this couch. This is an expensive couch. You're at the war room of the political revolution this time, brother. We sit on quality couches up in here. So you're not at the right place. Jack says spread the word, spread the truth. Always spread the truth. The truth will take down this evil system that lords over us. People aren't bad, and they don't, like I said, they don't want to vote against their own best interest. They do want better. They're convinced they can't have it. We can show them that it is possible, that we can move society forward, and we can have better things. We don't have to tolerate this evil and this greed and this endless war that will never stop if we don't take ownership and realize that we must be the ones that stop it. And that's the only way it can. There's nothing else that would ever work. So anyone that's telling you it's impossible is only afraid to try, afraid they'll fail. It's not that it's impossible. Steve says Tulsi finally qualifies for the debate and they changed the rules again. Yeah, they just moved the goalpost. Sometimes I wonder if we were to hit 1991, if we were to clench the delegates, would they just move it? They just move the requirement to 2213 or some other imaginary number that's further off in the distance. They're not going to let us have this. We understand that as well. We're going to have to take this by overwhelming them and giving them no choice. They don't want to give this to us. They want us to quit. And that's all they're trying to do, is get us to back down and to get us to give up. Steve says only the rich are doing well. No, that's the truth. Only the rich are doing well. People always want to say, oh, the economy's doing so well under Trump because the stock market's doing well. Stock market's not an indicator of how the economy's doing, how the average person's doing. Then they want to say, well, 670-something new millionaires have been created under Trump. That's not an indicator of how well people are doing either. You can't gauge everything off the upper 1%. You're ignoring 99% of the population when you do that. So there's wealth, and the wealthy are doing good. That's great. But how's the regular person doing? We don't gauge that off the stock market. That's what you hear people talk about when they say the economy's doing well. The wealthy are doing well. Jack says the stock market has been dropping. I wasn't talking about now. I was just saying that's how they usually gauge it. Or they'll gauge it off new wealth being created or different things like that. They always gauge it off the upper 1% and how the upper 1% is doing. But it would be great to see Tulsi in the debate. That would be fantastic. But it doesn't look like we're going to get to. And since they've neutered her in that way, I do feel like she does need to go ahead and drop out and either endorse Bernie or go ahead and join the campaign. I just don't see how she's effective in any role at this point. And she has no path to victory. Nothing against Tulsi, and I want her to be a part of the campaign. But I don't understand anymore. I'm a little confused about her staying in the race at this point. Unless she's doing it for name recognition to branch off as a third-party option. I'm snowballing, trying to figure out why. Steve says, I'm pretty sure Tulsi and Bernie are in communication. I feel the same way. I feel absolutely the same way. I think that Bernie and Tulsi's campaign have been working together, and I think there's a lot of evidence for that. But I think they'll merge. Honestly, that's what I believe will happen with the two campaigns. I think they'll merge together. But, I mean, only time will tell. Only time will tell. It's just, I think it's time. I think this would be a great time for it. Matter of fact, Bernie had a press conference today, and I was hoping that's what it was for. You know, any day now, please, merge these campaigns. So that's what I see happening, you know. But I also see them pairing Biden with somebody and them trying to limit his exposure and limit how much he actually speaks. So we're going to have to do our work getting out there and exposing Biden and informing people, because it's not cool what they're doing. We see it. We know what they're doing. We understand. They're running Trump's reelection campaign because they're not afraid of losing to Trump. Matter of fact, they keep everything that they have under Donald Trump. They stand to lose nothing under Donald Trump. So they want to keep things the way they are. They are planning to lose. All they have to do is beat Bernie. So that makes it all make sense. When you understand that they don't care if they win. It blows me away, though, that they would ruin their own party. For how long do you think it'd take to recover? Let's say they pull it off. They stop our revolution. Run their party into the ground. Would they ever recover? Do they even care? See what's at stake here? They're acting like lunatics. They're acting crazy. Bob says if your dollar is worth less, your assets look like they are going up in value. Jack says she is the only one I would vote for and the only one other than Bernie. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just saying realistically, and I also think as insurance, it'd be a really good idea to go ahead and merge the campaigns. If that's the plan, which I believe it is. But again, I'm just snowballing. Someone's asking about a fridge. The fridge is more expensive than the couch. I really don't think you brought enough money. We're raising money for a political revolution. You know, we don't have a super PAC. So every dollar counts. And we're not going to settle for less. We don't settle around here. We're not in the habit of negotiating even. We've got a price set, and we're not going to take any less than that. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I got a little bit distracted there for a second, but thanks for hanging out with me today on the Daily Bern. We do this every day at 7. So come back tomorrow and join the page, Our Revolution War Room. And anytime you're feeling down or you need to be built up, motivated, come here. The comment section's always great. There's always a great group of people here. And that's what it's for, so we can lean on each other. Thanks for watching and hanging out, guys, and at the Daily Bern today. And I'll see you tomorrow on the next episode.